This was probably the most profound experience I've ever had in my entire life. It really changed my life and who I am for the better, and it's something I will never ever forget. Welcome to my channel and welcome to my journey as an egg donor. This is not your typical content you're gonna see on my channel. Most of the time I'm posting about health, wellness, workouts, mindset, and today we're taking a little bit of a different route. Today we're talking about my personal experience with donating eggs. I have donated eggs 2 times now, so I feel like I can really give a good inside look, kind of behind the scenes. I actually documented everything. We're gonna talk about how I prepared and got ready for my retrieval, the mental and physical side of donating eggs, and really just what the experience is like as a whole. So excited to share this with you. So let's dive into my journey to donating my eggs. So first up is really deciding if this was the right choice for me. So way before you get to surgery, way before the shots and all of that kind of nitty-gritty stuff, is you coming to this decision of, is this the right choice for me and my future family? I'm feeling a lot of things right now. In so many ways, it's like my body has been prepping for this my whole life. And this has been something I've been training for. Every time I go to the gym, every time I go for a run, every time I think about eating healthy or nourishing my body, I'm asking myself, is this what's best for my body? And I'm just having this crazy moment where I'm like, oh my God, like this has been why. Everything has led to this point. When I was sitting on deciding whether or not I wanted to do this, I gave myself a good solid few weeks to really sit with it. I knew that this was a huge decision and I wanted to make sure that I was making the right choice. As weird as it sounds, right off the bat, I knew deep down in my heart and in my soul that this was the right choice for me, that this was something I was supposed to do. I'm a very instinctual, kind of intuitive person, and I really sat with it. I prayed with it, I meditated on it, I journaled about it, kept asking for signs if this was the right decision and the right step for me. And over and over and over again, I kept hearing from God and the universe that this was something I was supposed to do. I just felt it so deeply. I had such conviction that this was something I was supposed to do, not only for me, but for this person, for this child. I just knew. So I talked it over with my husband, really thought about all of the pros, the cons, the whole journey, my future, my family's future. It really was an incredible journey, just getting to the decision of deciding that this was right for me. So I decided to move forward. I told my doctor I was ready. We basically started the whole process. So let's get into the beginning stages of getting ready to donate my eggs. So this is a very extensive, elaborate process because it's a huge decision. You don't just decide that you want to donate eggs and go in for surgery and it's all said and done. There is a whole step-by-step process that happens way before you even get to surgery to make sure everything is safe and handled and you're protected. Basically decided on my own and with my family that this was the right choice for me, and then I talked to my doctor to make sure that first and foremost, me and my husband's future family was going to be okay, that my body was in a place to do so, my hormones were in a place to do so, and first I really checked in with the medical side of things, making sure that everything was okay and that this was a safe choice for me. It is 8:45 in the morning and I'm going into my first ultrasound to see where everything's at, and I'm nervous, I'm anxious, I'm excited. I was listening to my really spiritual playlist on the ride over here, just like manifesting good, healthy, juicy eggs. I'm excited. The ovaries are looking good. There's like 10 plus eggs on each side. So once that was covered with my doctor, Dr. Amy, I'm gonna talk about her a lot in this video, we really got into the prep work of getting me mentally and physically ready for this retrieval. I like to say that I was training for this because there really is so much that goes into it. There are actual requirements that you have to meet if you wanna be an egg donor. It's things like being under 30 years old, you have to have a BMI under a certain number, you have to not have had any tattoos or piercings in the last 6 months. For me, I was really taking this so seriously. I was training a certain way. I was moving my body consistently. I was going for nice long walks, doing a lot of low impact exercises and workouts. I was getting a ton of quality sleep. I would let myself sleep every morning until my body woke up. And I was just really taking a nourishing, very holistic approach. I was not drinking any alcohol. I was not eating a lot of processed foods, focusing on getting more protein, getting more healthy fats for your hormones. I was training for this because I felt so strongly strongly that this was a role that I was supposed to play in my life, and that wasn't something I wasn't gonna take seriously. And I was also doing a lot of mental kind of internal work and prep for this kind of procedure and surgery and this whole journey, because I wanted to make sure I was going in with a positive mindset, that I was really thinking about and meditating and journaling and praying for a healthy, successful egg retrieval, that everything was gonna go right with my body, everything was gonna go right for the egg and all that. And I was just envisioning how I wanted it all to go. I was really picturing like meditating on my eggs, which sounds kind of weird. I'd go on walks and I would just send all this love and light and positive energy and health into my uterus. And you can call that as weird and woo as you want, but I really think it made a difference because my numbers were great, the eggs were great, and the whole process was just incredible. So as I was getting ready and prepping for this retrieval and kind of training for it, I was getting a lot of things in order with my doctor. So you actually have to do like a psych evaluation to make sure that you're in a place mentally with your work, with your relationship, that this is a smart choice for you. So it does get a little bit overwhelming to feel like, oh my gosh, there's like legal things involved, there's a psych evaluation that's happening. Those things are in place to protect you and, you know, the person who's receiving your eggs. So you meet with a counselor or like a psychiatrist online, at least mine was online, and they just kind of talk to you, get to know you and your future and your goals and you and your personality. And yeah, we got a lot of things ready beforehand. There's also a contract that gets drafted up to make sure, again, that you and this recipient you're both protected. Once all of this is done and wrapped up and everybody is ready to go, you move into the stages of prepping for your egg retrieval. So I knew that I was only willing to work with my doctor I had done the first retrieval with, and that is Dr. AIMEE'S, and she is in San Ramon, California. She is my sister's fertility doctor. She's done a bunch of egg retrievals for my sister, and she is the best of the best. I knew right off the bat I was only gonna work with her because she knows her stuff unlike anyone else. I'm sure other fertility doctors are amazing out there, but in my eyes, no one can compete with Dr. AIMEE. She gives her patients such love, such care. She's just the most genuine, comprehensive person. Like, you text this woman at 4 a.m., she will respond back to you within seconds. You have a question for her or you're freaking out and it's midnight, you text her, you call her, she is there. She's like your cheerleader, your best friend, your biggest supporter. For me, it was really important to go through this journey with her. Because Dr. AIMEE is in California, I ended up flying out there. I'm on the East Coast now, and working with Dr. AIMEE is just a non-negotiable for me. I decided to go to California for 2 weeks, and the reason for it being 2 weeks is that you're going in every other day or every 2 days for a ultrasound to make sure that your eggs are moving along and kind of progressing in the right way. And you're also doing blood work. So you're doing, you know, an appointment every other day or so. And I didn't want to have to go to someone that I don't know for that. For 14 days before your egg retrieval, you are doing the shots in your stomach. Now, I feel like this is what people have the most questions on. It's like, do the shots hurt? Is it super uncomfortable? Is it super painful? For me, honestly, I have a very low pain tolerance. I am not a trooper with pain. My husband will tell you that. I'm a huge baby. For me, the shots are not that bad. They really don't hurt and get uncomfortable up until the very end when your stomach is kind of sore and bloated and inflamed. But I just kept picturing why I was doing the shots. I kept picturing the retrieval and the surgery and what was gonna happen after that. And I just didn't care that I was getting a little tiny prick in the stomach. It really doesn't hurt that bad. During this time, this is really where you're gonna feel the most changes, in my opinion, because your body's gonna get a little inflamed, you're gonna feel a little bloated, a little sore, a little tender, especially as you're going in for the ultrasounds. Still walking, I was still exercising, I was still moving around up until my surgery, and that's just what felt good for me. Everything was really showing that it was progressing in the way that we wanted to. So Dr. AIMEE pretty much looks over your stuff for 2 weeks, makes sure that your numbers are at a certain point, and then she decides whatever day your egg retrieval is going to be on. And then after this, you get ready for surgery day. So I feel like this is also probably something people are nervous about. And I just felt so comfortable going in for surgery because I had such an amazing doctor. I think that's so important, because if you get nervous going under anesthesia, it's really important that you are with the right people that are gonna make you feel safe and comfortable, and like you can ask questions. It's about a 30, maybe 45-minute long procedure. If that, Dr. AIMEE says it's pretty quick. I think we got 25 eggs. having the right team with you and having the right doctor made such a big difference for me. You're definitely a little sore, a little crampy, a little tired and kind of like drowsy afterwards, but you don't wake up with this sharp pain. I would say pain afterwards is like maybe a 6 or 7. It's really, really not bad. They do a great job of like taking care of you and making sure that your body is calm and relaxed, and you wake up to, you know, Gatorade or orange juice or whatever they have around you. And it's just kind of a moment to be like loved on and sit there and have people take care of you, and you just really let your body rest and recover. And then you really just rest up and take it easy. You go in for another check-in a few days later, at least I did, with Dr. Amy, make sure everything was going okay and my body was just like kind of simmering down, my hormones were coming back to normal, and after that the whole process is done. It's really the most grounding, empowering, like impactful experience. So grateful for this little body and this little vessel to do what it did, because we ended up having a great successful retrieval. The eggs were healthy and strong, and everything just went even better than I ever could have imagined. So now let's move into post-surgery, post-retrieval day, and kind of the aftercare. So like I said, this was a very spiritual, very emotional journey for me. I felt very connected to God and the universe and my purpose, and I feel like it made me feel like I mattered, and that's just on a whole other level. We could really unpack that a little bit more. I feel that it was something that changed my life forever. Doing that and helping someone in that way it's real. You know, it's real. The whole situation made me so grateful for my body and my health and my fertility and my relationship and Dr. Amy and fertility awareness. I think it's really important women know where their fertility is at. So my sister actually found out about all of her fertility things from Modern Fertility. It's a little tiny at-home testing kit where you can do a finger prick, send your blood work in, and basically test where your hormone levels are at right from home. So I'll try and get a link for you guys. I'll put it in the description box if I do get it. Modern Fertility pretty much told us where our levels were at. And again, I'm so grateful that my body was in a place to have a lot of eggs, to have good quality eggs. So for me, I felt like, why, and one of my best friends in the world said this when I was talking about this whole experience with him. He was like, why wouldn't you help someone? Like, why, if you're able to change someone's life like this and it doesn't take anything away from you, it doesn't affect you negatively, why wouldn't you help? I've had some people say things like, oh, I could just never do that, knowing that there's a piece of me out there that I'm not responsible for, or that, you know, I'm not taking care of. I just knew that this egg was sent to me in my body. Like, God put this egg in my body to be delivered to this woman and to change her life. And I really felt that in my heart and in my soul. And that conviction, like that pure knowing that this was the right choice for me, is why I did this, because I just knew. So now let's get into post-surgery and some of the little things that come up after your procedure that I feel like people just want to know about, especially if you are going back to a normal job where you have to go into the office, or maybe you have like a very labor-based job, you're a teacher, you're running around with kids a lot. There are a few physical things that came up that didn't, you know, hinder the process or hurt me in any way, but little things that I just feel like people might want to know. So right off the bat, I noticed that my tummy was so sore and so bloated, so tender.
So I got home from the retrieval last night at about midnight, and my body is very sore. I'm definitely feeling it. So it is 2 days post-surgery, post-egg retrieval. I just wanted to show you, like, don't mind all my stuff. You can still see some of like the light bruising and stuff from the shots, but my tummy is feeling tender and swollen, and I'm comfy, but that's to be expected. So I'm just gonna relax with my sweet little pup here, right, Nay? Hey, Nay.
It really is just like a period cramp. Like I said, it's not sharp. It's not like you can't move around. You're just moving a little slower. You're just like taking it really easy and vegging out on the couch. You're not allowed to lift anything heavy. You just have to absolutely relax and let your body heal. I also had a lot of pressure in my lady business area, let's call it. I think that's pretty standard, seeing as you just had surgery down there and someone was, you know, going up in there and poking and prying at things, but it really doesn't last all that long. I would say maybe a week, maybe 2 of just feeling like a little tender, a little swollen, a little just like uncomfy down there. Next thing I noticed was I was experiencing a little bit of spotting, not much. Now I will say I have Mirena, the IUD, so that could have changed how much I was spotting. Someone else might spot a lot more or bleed a lot more, but for me, I really just had a little bit, just used a pad and you were fine. After a few days, it really wasn't all that bad. I also noticed that my chest was kind of tight after surgery. I think that's pretty typical when you go under anesthesia because you have this moment where you're taking a deep breath in, and at that top of the inhalation, like when you're expanding your lungs, for some reason it just feels tight. I just did some breathing exercises and just kind of holding my breath, holding my lungs to a full capacity and then letting them come back down. And in a few days that went away. Another thing that was a little uncomfortable for me was just walking in general. I remember walking through the airport afterwards and being like, oh, okay, it feels like I had surgery. So luckily my sister was with me, so I didn't have to lift up any heavy bags or kind of do things on my own. And then my husband picked me up and he took care of everything. Walking, just like every stride, every step, I almost felt like my ovaries were like stretching and getting really uncomfortable. So you just move really slow, little baby steps, and take it really, really easy. Another thing I noticed was that my girls were so sore. Now, this is definitely hormone related. Your body goes through so many changes. And the last thing I noticed was that my skin was breaking out a little bit. Now, again, I think it's just the hormones and your body kind of coming down post-surgery. I also noticed that my endurance was kind of low. But all these things aside, they feel so insignificant. You know what I mean? Like, what is feeling a little bit bloated? What is feeling like your girls are a little sore for a few days? For me, this was something that was so much deeper than just the physical changes I was gonna go through, that I didn't care what was happening as long as it was healthy and normal and my doctor said that it was okay. You're just a little uncomfy for maybe a week, maybe 2 after the retrieval, and then everything pretty much goes back to normal. So now that the retrieval has come and gone, I can solidly say this was just the most like rewarding, fulfilling, life-changing experience for me. I just knew from the moment I started praying on this and asking God and asking the universe if it was right for me, I knew that this was something I was supposed to be doing. I just felt like it was part of my purpose here on earth, and you can make fun of that, call it crazy all you want, but for me, it was just something I was supposed to do. And I'm so proud, I'm so grateful, I'm so glad that I did it. I'm not gonna sit here and say that everyone should be an egg donor because it's definitely maybe not the right choice for everyone. If you're in a different place in your life, if you're feeling hesitation about it, it might not be the right fit for you, and that is totally, totally fine. But if you're also feeling like you want to do this, you wanna help someone, you want to step up and donate, I really encourage you talk to Dr. Amy, my fertility doctor, or go to a clinic near you. One thing I do wanna touch on before I wrap this up is I feel like someone's gonna ask about getting compensated for this, and the answer is yes, you do get compensated for donating eggs, or going in for surgery, you are changing your body, you're going through, you know, the shots, you're taking time off of work, you are going through the mental process of donating your eggs, you're going through the physical process of donating your eggs, and it is all day long something I'm so grateful to have been compensated from, but it's not about the money. If you're thinking about donating eggs, do not let it be because you're going to get paid for this. Make it be that this is the right choice for you. This is in your heart because you would do it even if it was free, even if you weren't gonna be paid from it. It's really based on your area and your experience and where you're at, so reach out to your doctors to ask more about that. But yeah, I just wanna say that you are compensated for this, as you should be. You're going through a lot, but again, don't make it be about being paid, make it about making a difference. So that is my experience as an egg donor. It was such an amazing experience. I'll try to answer any questions you guys have in the comments down below. I would love if we could keep this super respectful and full of love. If it's not for you and it's not the right choice for you and you feel differently, that's cool, but this was just a magical experience for me and I wanna share this with the world. So if you enjoyed this video, I would love, love, love for you to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and again, ask any questions you have about this whole process in the comments down below. I'm an open book, so I'll answer anything that I can. So that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this video and a behind the scenes look at what the experience is like on my end, my personal experience. And yeah, that's all I got for you today. So I hope you loved this. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.